What's up guys, Noah Quizzy here, and I'm back with another episode of Thread Fix. This is less of a thread fix and just a complete concept uniform because the Cleveland Guardians actually don't have any uniforms as of right now at the time I'm making this video. So I thought I would get ahead of the curve and design my own jerseys before they release theirs to kind of see how they compare when they're actually released, because I didn't want their actual uniforms to influence my uniforms, because I was going to make this video no matter what. I think I have some pretty good ideas, so I hope you enjoy the video. If you do, please leave a like on it and subscribe to my channel for more jersey design related videos and things like that. By the way, I use mock-ups for Photoshop from my store, templatefc.com. So if you want to design your own uniforms and you're familiar with Photoshop, be sure to check out that website to buy and use your own mock-ups and patterns and things like that to create your own sports uniforms. It could be baseball, football, soccer, basically whatever. So be sure to check that out and let's get started. Alright, so here we are in Photoshop, and I have the blank template set up right now without any of the logos. And you can see it's a simple white uniform, blue accents or navy accents with red shoes. I think that's like the best look for Cleveland. And I know they've gone with the all navy hat recently, but I prefer the red brim a lot more. So you can see I went with that and the little red donut on top, the button. So that's kind of my ideal Cleveland setup. And if I add the logo here, you can see we have their new C logo, and I added a white stroke around the C because their most recent hat with the C has just red on navy, and it's a little hard to see from a distance because red on any dark color is a bit tough to see. So I went with the white stroke for their main two hats, the home and road. Of course, they can mix it up in alternates, but I think for your main look, the logo should be as clear as possible. If we go to the rest of the jersey, the full thing, this is what we have. You can see it's a simple baseball jersey. Baseball jerseys typically aren't anything too crazy, but the striping I went with is pretty interesting. So we'll talk about the logos first. This is their new text logo, Guardians. I think it looks pretty nice, and I went with the red text with the navy stroke, and then the same with the number, and then a navy Nike swoosh, and then their fastball logo on the sleeve. Now the interesting part of this is the sleeve trim and the pant stripe and the sock stripe. And I think the sock stripe is going to be the easiest way to show this because this is the biggest version of the pattern. And it is a kind of complex pattern. You can see this is the same on the stripes or on the pants and the sleeves as well, but you can see we have this like middle pattern here with some triangles and some like little lines here, and this pattern is based off the patterns on the actual Cleveland statues, the Cleveland Guardian statues, which the team gets its name from. So if I can zoom in here, you'll see that this pattern down the middle here is the same from my uniform. If we hop over, it's that pattern right there, and then the sides here, you can see this is the one with all the lines, and then on top of it is the triangular pattern, and the triangular pattern is like ribbons that come off to reveal that stripe pattern. But I thought I'd keep it simple and just include them both next to each other. As you can see here, here's the one with lines and then the triangular one. So I thought that was a really cool way to incorporate that pattern. If we hop over to the road uniform, again, pretty basic baseball uniform setup. This time we added in the chest trim as well. And by the way, there is the neck trim on both these uniforms too, because I always like to break up the neck. If it feels like it needs it, this uniform felt like it needed it. But the rest of the uniform is the same as the home. Then if we hop over to the cream uniform, this is kind of like a throwback inspired uniform, but obviously there's no throwback for the Guardians since it's a brand new name. But I thought I'd give them like a classic baseball uniform or feeling uniform. So this is like inspired by like the uniforms of the 80s that had those sleeve stripes all the way down, which I think these should make a return in baseball because I think these look really neat. And you could also add the side stripes onto the uniform as well. I didn't in this case, but you could. And that pattern is the same one that's on the sleeves and the socks again. And I went with the navy text with the red stroke, and then the number is the reverse of that. And I think that's a cool balance. I like this. And then this hat, I actually got rid of the stroke because I felt like the red logo on the navy hat actually had more of a classic feel that fit with the cream uniform. So I really like this to mix it up from the home white. It's definitely a different feel, but definitely still looks pretty good. Then let's hop over to the first alternate uniform, which is the simplest of the alternate uniforms, and that's the navy uniform. So it's the same setup as the home and everything. It has white and red accents. You can see the red text. And then the hat is all navy to mix it up so it fits in with the uniform a little bit better. It gives them a different hat to wear. Then if we move on to the first red alternate, we have the first use of the fastball logo here, which I think could be pulled off on the chest. It's a little bit wonky. I don't think the logo is great for a hat. And it's not the best for the uniform, but I tried to do it anyway to kind of show you guys what it would look like. And then we just have navy on red with very little white. So you can see the numbers just navy, trims navy, Nike swoosh is just navy. And the logo on the hat is just navy, no white strokes or outlines or anything like that. Moving on to the more interesting alternates, we have another navy uniform, but this uses the pattern down the chest from the C logo on the chest. And you'd have seen me do this in my MLB redesign video, which I've only covered the National League so far. The American League is yet to come. This is actually part of it. But I really like this inclusion of a logo with a pattern on it. I did it with flags for Washington and Chicago, actually, incorporating their flags in their uniforms. And this one incorporates the pattern with the logo, which I think looks pretty awesome. And then I actually included that fastball logo on the hat. And this is the road setup. This doesn't necessarily have to be a road uniform though, just kind of how I set it up here. And finally, we have another red uniform, which would be the most kind of out there uniform, the most interesting uniform, I suppose. And I could have made this one good for home or road, but I opted to go with just a road look for this. So we have the silver text on the uniform with like a silver neck trim, silver logo on the hat, and then the silver pants, the road. I guess it's all gray, it's not really silver, but it's a complete road look. And that pattern now is blown up to be a little bit bigger. So we have it on the sleeves and on the jersey, and then it's also on the hat. So I was trying to go for more of like that 80s like Astros feel, like they had that rainbow uniform. And this kind of was giving me similar vibes. It's just something out there, it's different. People probably wouldn't like it if it was really produced, but a lot of people would because it's something different. And I always think you got to push the boundaries a little bit when you're doing uniforms. So this would be my attempt to do that for Cleveland. And I still think it would look pretty good. You could probably make some tweaks to make it a little bit better, but I'm pretty happy with how this turned out and that look. I especially think that hat would work with some of the other uniforms as well. But that is my quick Cleveland Guardians concept uniforms. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like on the video. Subscribe to my channel for more, and be sure to check out templatefc.com down below to get your own mockups to create your own uniforms. Also, be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram for more uniform designs, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.